What's going on, guys? It's your boy Patrick, aka Addicted to Combat, back for the results of UFC Vegas 55, where Holly Holm, unfortunately for us, dropped the ball in a split decision, a controversial decision, but nonetheless a very close fight that I don't think she deserved to win against Ketlin Vieira. So that cost us a little bit. No celebratory cigar on me this week. Took a loss because she was kind of my darling of the week, and if she failed or Michelle Pereira failed, it would have been a losing night for me pretty much regardless. So I was on Eric Betts Fights YouTube channel on Thursday for his Big Money Bets show, which he does. If you haven't given Eric Betts Fights a subscribe, go ahead and do so right now. He's a great guy, very sharp bettor. But on that show that we did, we play a 2-fight, a 4-fight, and a 6-fight parlay. I was pretty confident. I played all 3 of those parlays. I thought I had chosen the 6 fighters out of the 11 picks this week that were going to come through for us. It always requires some luck with the parlays, but my top parlay was Holly Holm and Michelle Pereira. So when both of those fights go to a split decision, it's going to be very difficult and require some luck to get both of those splits to go our favor. Overall, out of those 6 fights in that parlay, though, I came through with 4 out of 6 of those being correct. The other 2, then Michelle Pereira. It was Michelle Pereira, Jonathan Martinez, Omar Morales lost, but we ended up getting Joseph Holmes and Tabitha Ricci came through. So 4 out of 6 fighters, not that bad. Overall on picks, out of 11 fights, we went 7 picks correct, 4 incorrect. Again, one of those was the Eric Anders dropping a split decision to Junior Park. Omar Morales getting starched by Urosh Medic inside the distance. What else do we have in there? Felipe Colares getting beaten by Chase Hooper. And was there another one on there as well? I think that was it, right? Yeah, so we had some props along the way that we punctuated the parlays with to try to do some damage control, which helped out. I had Chidi Njokuani KO round 1, which is what I featured on Eric's show. I had just a small half-unit stab on that, but I came through at plus 350. I did have Sam Hughes by decision as well, because I figured it was a coin flip fight between her and Elise Reed skill-wise, and if either woman comes through, it should be by decision, right? Well, no, Sam Hughes comes through, so we get the pick right, but she gets her done inside the distance of round 3 because Elise Reed was so gassed. So that was a unit loss. Had Tabitha Ricci by decision. Kind of a low confidence bet, but it was pretty decent plus money, and that came through. She looked decent. So overall, it was a minus 5 unit night because all of the parlays, it was minus 7.5 units in total itself. So some of the props came through for us. The Michelle Pereira Ponzinibbio fight goes to the decision, that came through to help as well. So overall, those props can help balance out some of the damage from the parlays, but the parlays are going to dictate the action of the night, especially if you lose that top 2 fight parlay, is where I put most of my stock. So that was a tough loss overall. It's even more tough that we have to live with it for a week off. But either way, I'm not screaming robbery like a lot of people are about the Holly Holm decision. She really just didn't push the action enough to win. Sometimes that cage control is just not going to be enough, when you're in a standing position against the cage. What are you going to do? She's 40 years old. Hindsight's 2020. I don't regret my pick at all. I thought she would have the experience edge and the conditioning edge in a 5-round fight. But, like I mentioned, it's a 2-fight parlay between her and Michelle Pereira. When both of those are split decisions, it's going to be very hard to come through on both of those. So what are you going to do? A week is off. I'm not sure how much content I'll have the end of this week. Might just, bone up on some research for the following fight cards. We've got a long stretch of fights coming up. And luckily enough, I have made a lot of friends in the Twitter arena, other YouTubers and things like that. So I'll probably have some guests coming up, for once, not just being on other people's YouTubes, but also bringing them to our channel as well, getting some traffic towards Addicted to Combat. I'm so happy that we're past 100 subs and growing and making a lot of content creator friends. In the Twitter space. It's going to be fun. There should be some growth in the future and some better content too. Not just me rambling, but somebody else that is a sharp bettor as well. I'll start having some people like Eric Betts Fights, my guy Luke Betya, from the MMA engine as well. And there's a few other YouTubers that I want to start featuring on this channel as well. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for the constant support for everybody. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's always fun when people are engaging in the comments. you know, just giving their opinions on the fights as well. Two heads are always better than one. You know, I do have good reads, but I'm not the smartest person in the world, so I love picking other YouTubers' brains as well. So we'll start doing more of that in the future. So, yeah, I hope everybody did better on UFC Vegas 55 than I did. We will be back, but yeah, we have to wallow in this feeling for another week off of being on a loss and ending that streak with a loss. Never like that. You always want to end and be on this break week with a win, but not always going to happen. So we'll be back. We'll start getting this profit in the entire summer of 2022. I'm very confident, and there's a lot of badass fights coming up. So, all right, you guys, I'll catch you next time. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. I'll see you next time.